it took your band about 8 years before you got some notoriety, right? National.
So we started in 2003, and then we didn't get signed to our first record. Our major record deal was in 2007. We released our record in 2008. So it took us 4 years. What happened was when we had made our first EP, and our management took it to a bunch of labels to shop, and everybody said no. And so then it was like, all right, well, what's our plan? And our plan was, we're going to raise money, and we're going to fund our own album, and we're going to get an independent booking agent, and we're going to get out on the road, and we're going to sell records ourselves, right? And so we went back to every single label, and we said, look, here's our plan. Thank you for your feedback. This is what we're going to do, and we'll check back with you in a year or two, right? And so that's what we did. We raised money. We funded our own record. We went down to work with a producer that took us on because he saw he was actually really accomplished. His name is Paul Eberstold. He had won a couple Grammys. He worked with Three Doors Down and Third Day, really big bands. And so he was at a point in his career where he was able to do things more out of a passion project, right? And so he had heard our EP. He loved our drive and our guts. And so he agreed to do our record for the fee that we were able to raise. It was a great experience. We got a world-class record for not that much money. And then we got out on the road, and we just started touring and played every show that we possibly could and any tour that we possibly could. And we ended up selling ourselves out of our trunk and out of our van over the course of that 2 years, close to 100,000 records, which at that point in time, with no distribution, we had no distribution, like, at all.
Yeah.
And so, when you could do that, right, and then make some waves, and then what put us over the top was towards the end of that album cycle, the band Evanescence, they were coming back with their new record, and it was a pretty big deal. And they had heard about us, and they didn't need any support because they could sell tickets on their own. So they basically called us up and said, you guys want to come on tour with us? And that basically, put us on the map with a lot of major labels. And we ended up doing their US tour, and then they took us to Europe also. And then when we got back from that, the phone started ringing, and there was a little bit of a bidding war for us after that. And we ended up signing with Interscope Records. And, I sat in Jimmy Iovine's office, and he was blasting our first single, telling us it was the greatest rock song you'd heard in 30 years. So it was pretty cool. And at that point in time, like, you think, wow, my life is set, right? Like, I'm going to be the next biggest thing since sliced bread.